Management of City FM condemns Rambo-style arrest of City FM journalist accused of unlawfully filming the officers of the National Security Ministry. We'll bring you the full fact. Small-scale miners threaten to hit the street over what they claim is the continual destruction of their mining equipment by government's anti-galamsey task force. Still in this bulletin, we will take you to Kigali, one of the world's cleanest cities, and how it's being strategically positioned to become Africa's leading tourism destination. A former finance minister said Tekpe accuses the MPP government on worsening the living conditions of Ghanaians over its decision to increase taxes. And on the international front, Ugandan security forces deployed ahead of the swearing-in of Yoweri Museveni. Thanks for joining us. And now in the bulletin, the general manager of CDFM, Bernard Kweku-Avle, has described as unfortunate the Rambo-style arrest of two CTFM journalists who were accused by the police of secretly filming at the car park of Ministry of National Security. General manager of the station, in an interview with Paul Adomotre, expressed shock over the way the police handled the issue. Here are excerpts of the interview from last night.
For us as journalists in this era, we are not saying journalists should not be touched. We are not saying we should not face the full rigors of the law. But there is a signal you send with your actions. And Paul, what makes this whole thing very perplexing is the context. Here we are with an online movement. Here we are with a lot of anger in the system that people are trying to address. Finance minister had a meeting on, you see. Now, the other backstory is that because of, in fact, the original story that went out was that, you know, on Sunday, May 9, the Fix Ghana had planned to do a protest. So Caleb had been sent, Caleb went there to do a filming of what happened. So the police had come there with their artillery or whatever they had. Yeah. And he had put this on social media. So the initial report was that he had been arrested because of that.
Yeah, that's what Javier Sosu, the Madina MP, put on his social media.
And a lot of people presumed that to be the case because that video had a lot of likes and was shared. Okay, and then, so it was later on that we realized that he had gone to the National Security for a different thing, which then led to this. But I feel the approach was not right. The level of bravado was disproportionate, and then it didn't take into cognizance the context. Okay, so now it's escalated it into, a lot of the guys were very traumatized around the station.
Does Azuku's apology to you sort of ameliorates the situation?
You know, I don't, it's not about me and what I think, because some of us, because we are known, we are privileged. So if they see you or me, they say, oh, Bernard, oh, Paul. But Caleb is a young journalist, as is Zoe. And there are lots of people watching. So you don't need to apologize to me. Do the right thing. And we are not saying we shouldn't be punished for doing wrong. So it's not about Bernard or Samens being told.
Why did they have him in handcuffs when they were with him in the car?
I have no idea.
I think that's bad.
I don't know whether...
they were with arrest of two City TV reporters. According to him, his action necessitated a response from the National Security. Meanwhile, the editor of the Insight newspaper, Kwesi Pratt, says the National Security has carried out a messy operation and there's no need for the Rambo-style arrest. They both spoke on Metro TV's flagship morning program, Good Morning Ghana.
What was so special about this material that caused this panic within the national security establishment?
Maybe it's the act, not necessarily the details, but the act. The fact that somebody decided to film a security installation.
But then, what sent them to City was not the act. What sent them to the premises of City was the value of the video. You understand? So, for the act, the person had already been arrested and put in handcuffs. You understand? The person was already in custody. The rush to City FM and the commotion caused at City FM will suggest that the video had some value. From all the stories that I've heard, that video has no security value. You understand? Perhaps the only security value it has is that it exposes the premises. People can see the parameters of the premise, they can see what is there and so on. But really, I mean, who hasn't been to that ministry before? That ministry used to be the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Everybody knows all the contours of that area. You understand? It used to be the office of Captain Kudo Chikata when he was PNDC member responsible for foreign affairs and also national security. You understand? It has been the office of many people. It used to be the office of General Amidu and so on. So, really, I think that they've created a mess which was totally unnecessary. I mean, we could have done without this mess.
I think it comes down to law and understanding law. It means that they should expect a consequence if they are found. The consequence in this instance is really not unusual, except for the reaction in support or endorsement of the consequence, which is whisking, rushing there, all armed and all that. It comes down to law. I think the next thing it comes down to is communication.
So the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, has condemned national security operatives' arrest of City FM journalist Caleb Kuda and the subsequent invasion of the premises of the media house on Tuesday, May 11, 2021. The NDC insists the action by the security operative is unlawful and preposterous. So there you have it, a statement by Sami Jimfi posted on Facebook, and it reads, the NDC condemns in no uncertain terms the arrest of Caleb Kuda and the Gestapo invasion of the office of City FM by armed national security operatives. The act is unlawful and preposterous. The oppression of journalists and citizens by the despotic Akufo-Addo government must stop. Hashtag say no to culture of silence. Coming in from Sami Jemfi of the NDC. So we are now joined via phone by private legal practitioner Benjamin Antiedu for more on this issue. So, Lawyer Benjamin, per the new Securities and Intelligence Act passed in November last year, does the national security have the power to effect such arrest?
Hello.
Lawyer Benjamin.
Good afternoon. Can you repeat your...
Great. So if you can hear me, I'm asking, per the Securities and Intelligence New Act passed in November last year, does the national security have the power to effect such arrest?
Arrest?
We are struggling to get through to legal practitioner, Lawyer Benjamin Antiedu, to tell us more what exactly this arrest means, and even if the national security is able to conduct such an arrest following the passing of new Securities and Intelligence Act back in November. We are trying to get him back on the lines. We want to find out what exactly journalists filming at that particular place, what it means, and what can be done to them if they are actually found guilty. So let's go on the line and see if we can still have the legal practitioner, Lawyer Benjamin Antiedu, back on. Yes, I'm told that we go back to him as and when we get him back online. So we are now, let's go back and still talk more. But before that, a quick look into other issues. The Church of Pentecost has built and donated a prison infrastructure to the Ghana Prison Service at Ejura in the Ashanti region. In September 2019, the Church of Pentecost started building 5 settlement camp prisons for the Ghana Prisons Service to help decongest the country's prisons. The new facilities are located in Obuasi and Ejura in the Ashanti region, in Sawam in the eastern region, Hawa in the western region, and Kenyasi in the Ahafo region. On Tuesday, May 11, 2021, the church donated the Ejura prison to the service. The Ghana Prison Service has also expressed its gratitude to the church for their gesture. Joining us to tell us more about this donation and how it will improve services of the Ghana Prison Service is General Secretary of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Alexander Nana Yao Kumilabi, and Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Prison Service, Chief Superintendent Courage Achim, who is returning from Nigeria after the handing over ceremony of the facility yesterday. So let me start with you, Apostle Nana Yao. Take us back into history and tell us about your initial conviction to build prison camps for the country to augment the already existing ones.
Thank you very much, my brother, for having me, and good afternoon. Yeah, the church as it stands, we are following the steps of Jesus Christ when he was here on earth, the things he came to do. So basically, our interest is to visit the weak, the vulnerable, and the marginalized in society. If you read Matthew 25, it will tell you, I was sick, you didn't visit me. I was in prison, you were not there. I was naked, no clothing, hungry, no food, thirsty, no water or drink. So it's a normal thing churches or Christians are supposed to do, to always consider the weak and the vulnerable and give them the necessary support. So this is what we have been doing. And in our vision, named Vision 2023, as part of it, these are some of the things we intend doing: building hospitals, prisons, police headquarters, and all that. So as you rightly said, this is one of 5 that we have rolled out for the Ghana Prison Service. One at Ejura, in Sawam, Damango, Obuasi, and another year to commence at Kwamo. But all the others are almost completed. So this is what we are doing in support of the development of our nation.
All right, let me now come to you, Chief Superintendent Courage. How will this help improve the service delivery of the Ghana Prison Service? Are you there, sir? I'm told that we're having problems connecting to him due to network. So let me go back and speak to General Secretary of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Alexander Nanaya. Let me come back to Apostle. There is this school of thought that the government is building national cathedral for churches, and the church is also building prisons for the country. What do you make of this statement?
Thank you very much. I think I will not want to go into that debate, but as a Christian, we are doing our God-given mandate. As our chairman rightly said, I've been saying, for us, sinners are our clients. Wherever sinners are, that's where the church ought to be. We are salt of the earth and light to the world. If you read Hebrews chapter 13, verse 3, it will tell us that remember those who are in prison as though in prison with them. So for us, we don't want to look at what government is doing. We are looking at our God-given mandate. Paul will tell us, to the weak, he became weak so that he can win them. To the rich, he became as though he was free so he can win them. We want to become all things to all people. Where the marginalized are, that is where the church is. When Jesus came, he moved from the synagogue. He visited Simon the leper. He visited Zacchaeus, the tax collector. He was all over with the weak and the vulnerable. So that's what our mandate is. So for us, looking at the deplorable situation or condition of our prison facilities, we thought we can't sit back unconcerned, seeing our fellow human beings packed as it were like sardines. And if God has given us financial muscles, why not stretch it forth to help ease or decongest the facilities? Let me quickly add that we are not just decongesting. We want to see them reformed, want to see them rehabilitated, and want to add value to their lives. So we are saying that the chapel that has been put there, we want to run education, we want to run school. Those who can write BEC will enroll them. Those who can do WASI will enroll them. If they pass and they want to do pursue tertiary education, our Pentecost University is standing by to help them. So for us, we are partnering government to develop our nation, Ghana. That is all.
Apostle, so a section of the Ghanaian populace is quite happy about this gesture, but others are also saying that we could have actually had factories rather than prisons. What do you make of this as well?
All right, thank you very much. As I said, we have over 80 basic schools as a church. We have 2 senior high schools as a church. We have a university. We have hospitals and people in the various communities. But for factories, we can think about it, but we don't want to go into business for now. We want to empower the individuals.
All right, so thank you so much for your time here with us on Newsbeat. So I've been speaking to the General Secretary of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Alexander Nana Yaokumi Labi, and we were also joined by Director of Public Affairs of Ghana Prison Service, but couldn't speak to him due to network failure. They are going to try and bring him back.
Through some part of River Pra, River Ofing, through to River Daboase. In all, the team covered 120 kilometers along what the team calls the red zones of the forest reserves to stop activities of illegal miners. Making his remarks, the Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwu mentioned that even though there were no arrests, 28 excavators, 267 shamfans, 18 water pumping machines, 2 industrial pump machines, 2 pump action guns, amongst others, were seized and destroyed.
Yes, it was a success because all floating shamfans, all floating platforms were destroyed on the river. That is between Chofopraso and Daboase, the junction of the 2 tributaries of the river, Oda and the Rwanda continues. You know, the Ofin continues into the Ashanti, part of Ashanti region, was part of Western Ashanti. And then Oda goes this way. So they stopped at that tributary called Daboase. So between that junction, which I said is about 120 something kilometers, all floating platforms were destroyed. All equipment along the 100-meter stretch were destroyed. So I can say yes, it was a success, and we'll continue to monitor.
One of the strategies deployed by the military is the armed air patrol. However, Dominic Nitiwu promised safe operations.
No innocent lives will be lost. I hope that your question is innocent lives, so I'll stick to that, innocent lives. But I can't guarantee whether lives will be lost or not. And that one, lives could be lost even from the military side, even from the civilian side. You can never tell. And lives could be lost if somebody attacks the military with a gun, for example. You can never tell. So that I can't guarantee. But what I can guarantee is that no innocent person's life will be lost.
He also refuted claims made by the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners that mining sites which belong to legal miners and are not affecting the environment are also being raided.
I'm not aware that the soldiers have harassed any small-scale mining now who is doing legitimate business. In fact, the soldiers are operating within the 100 meters radius. If you are holding a license and you find yourself mining within the 100 meters radius, you are doing an illegal thing. The soldiers are supposed to destroy every equipment mining within the river body in the 100 meters radius. They're not going to ask whether you have a license or you don't have a license.
The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Abu Jinapo, added that although a ban has not been placed on small-scale mining, the laws has to be enforced to ensure our water bodies and the environment are protected.
The small-scale miners also have a responsibility. I am prepared to work with them. Next week I intend to sit down with them. But they also have a responsibility. They have a responsibility to partner with governments and support government so that together we can create a viable, sustainable small-scale mining industry here in Ghana. But if they don't, and it's going to be threat upon threat and the rest, we are not going to waver. The water bodies will be protected, the forest reserves will be protected, and there are sufficient laws in the system. What we require is for all of us to be sincere, honest, and committed to ensuring that the laws are preserved and enforced.
He called on the small-scale miners to join the force in ensuring that the water bodies and the environment are protected for all Ghanaians.
And now, the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners have given government a 14-day ultimatum to call the Galamsey Task Force to order over the destruction of some mining machinery belonging to small-scale miners. According to them, they are ready to embark on a 3-day demonstration if their concerns are not addressed. There is more in the following News Desk report.
The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Wednesday, April 28, 2021, deployed some 200 military personnel to flush out illegal miners destroying the environment. A statement from the Information Ministry, which made the announcement, said the team commenced its operations on the River Pra in the central and western regions. Over 10 excavators and machinery allegedly belonging to illegal miners have been destroyed since the beginning of the operation. On the back of this, the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners are unhappy with their operations. According to them, some of the mining machinery being destroyed belongs to miners with the requisite license and not in any way endangering the environment. Some of the affected mining sites mentioned in the statement include Intafrewaso site, Antodom Enterprise site, and Asamwakrum, all in the central region. The association is therefore calling on government to distinguish between illegal miners and small-scale miners.
So you may encounter some difficulty when you try to order a taxi using a taxi app on your mobile phone. Well, over 3,000 drivers associated with taxi apps such as Uber, Bolt and Yango yesterday embarked on a nationwide strike. They say their 2-day sit-down strike is because of attacks against drivers at night and difficulties with vehicle registration process. President of the Online Drivers Union.
We interact with him and then we find out more. So I haven't even placed my order yet, and I can see a number of vehicles around. I am heading the Alisa Hotel. Let's see. Okay, so
we hear you were supposed to embark on a strike action today, but you are working today. Earlier, drivers had raised concerns over some welfare conditions. What are these welfare conditions, and why are you working today?
I'm working because I'm not on any of their organization. I went to register individual, so I don't need for me to join any organization.
Okay, but some drivers have raised concerns over poor conditions of service, threats over their life, security concerns, amongst others. What have you to say about that?
This has been issued since 2016 as Uber operationalized in Ghana, but just like they're overlooking, because I think we need to write an official letter to leadership of this country and they will address it to us. Yeah, I think so, but we can't use strike to get our concerns.
The number of things earlier, you mentioned there are a number of things Uber had put in place that were making your conditions of service a lot better. Tell us more about those things.
When we started driving on this platform, Uber security, a driver partner has to do comprehensive car insurance. Without that, you can't drive. Secondly, Uber has also partnered with one insurance company and they do insurance cover for you, which covers you and the rider. So if there's any accident, your family will be compensated if there's a loss of life. And now, they've removed all these security features on this platform. Now, you can just go and issue a third party and you drive on the platform.
What I do know is that you need a comprehensive insurance package.
Third party. I wonder why they are doing that. They're taking third party and their life cover too, they've removed it from us. So even if any incident happens, you don't receive any benefit. When we started, we buy 110 for full tank. Security has been their concern. And the insurance is all more important. Seriously, Uber has to implement that comprehensive insurance and even a life cover for the drivers.
Okay, so that's it. We've heard from Ali. He has spoken about the welfare conditions, and we'll get the leaders of the various online transport services to respond to these concerns. But from me, Efia Fuso, I have been reporting for Metro News here in Accra.
And so that is a story filed by Metro News Efia Fusua on a ride with the hailing app driver. But after the break, we'll tell you more about what exactly is happening concerning the coalition of Muslim organizations calling for the removal of the headmistress of Wesley Girls. This and many other stories after the break. Stay with us.
family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When Habi is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter Na is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah.
Always drink fresh, natural eggs, mineral water.
You still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Welcome back. And now, the Coalition of Muslim Organizations Ghana has called for the removal of the headmistress of Wesley Girls SHS following the directive from the school not to allow the Muslim girls to fast. According to COMOG, this, when done, will surge the adverse psychological effect of her presence on the Muslim students.
We are so tolerant. We are so accommodating because we understand Christianity. As we are talking to you today, more than 99% of those who have written articles of Methodist Church has a policy that is against the religion of Islam. No policy. So, like I said, by the end of this program, please take your time and ask and exhaust your questions. We will take you to Cape Coast. We will cite example of Methodist schools who are more accommodating than even Muslim schools. More accommodating. They accommodate the Muslims more than, let's say, Muslim accommodating the Muslim students. And at the same time, you have Methodist established school doing otherwise. We believe that it couldn't have been the policy of Methodist Church and not the policy of Christians. Ghana has been so peaceful. Ghana has been very accommodating. Ghanaians are so accommodating. We have been one people, but some unscrupulous elements want to seek to divide us. And we will say no. And if possible, fish them out.
So away from Ghana, I'm still here on this beat as Rwanda is one of Africa's fastest growing economies and feet hinged on rapid industrialization through an aggressive drive to develop its tourism, mining and manufacturing sectors. In the following report, my colleague Abdallah Mohammed, who just returned from the country, reports on how a 2008 ban on plastics has helped the country become the cleanest and most preferred tourism destination here in Africa.
Welcome to Kigali, the capital of the East African nation of Rwanda. Kigali is currently considered Africa's cleanest and safest city, thanks to effective political leadership, which has reversed the wheels of retrogression and defined a path of prosperity for its people.
Rwanda is a landlocked country situated in Central Africa, precisely in East Africa, just south of the equator, bordering Tanzania to the east, Uganda to the north, Burundi to the south, and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the west. In a city where almost half of the land is mountainous, finding housing for Kigali's growing population has made innovation a necessity. Under the government's Kigali Master Plan 2040, high-rise buildings are set to change the city's look and feel. The plan offers a vision for developing infrastructure that will be necessary for modern Kigali's success. With impressive urban development plans and efficiency in road construction, Kigali has become a well-organized and structured city that gives its visitors and inhabitants a feeling of peacefulness and serenity. In 2008, the city of Kigali won the UN Habitat Scroll of Honor Award for its many innovations in building a modern city symbolized by zero tolerance for plastics, improved garbage collection, and a substantial reduction in crime.
We do umuganda, it's community work. So as the community, every Saturday, end of the month, we do umuganda, where the whole community, we go out in the village. You organize and meet in one place. You clean the roads, you clean the bushes around. So it's like a routine. It's a culture we've used to. Hopefully, it's because of a good leadership.
We have this term we use in Kigali, which is called "Keep Kigali Clean." So every citizen every citizen knows that he or she has to play that part of like keeping Kigali clean. Like we have that mentality that Kigali has to be clean.
We are actually accustomed to making our city clean. It's like our culture because we have been sensitized by local authorities. We have different programs like umuganda that we do so that our cities, where we live, we should always make our places clean. And we do different activities, and we know that whatever we do, if, for example, you have been drinking water with a plastic bottle, you know that you...
An urban recreation and ecotourism park
they are doing the indoor residual spraying. If you look at the point mass distribution as well as the indoor residual spraying, these are two interventions that will help to tackle the malaria parasites. But we know that there are also some behavior change issues in relation to the mosquito per se, but now tackling the larvae of the mosquito and identify areas that these breed so that we'll be able to clear the larvae of the mosquito. And I think it's a useful intervention to be able to address some of these gaps that we are confronted with as far as the malaria control interventions are concerned. Remember, we are looking at how we can eliminate the disease, but there are a number of things that will come in as far as the elimination is concerned. And we as a service, there are a number of interventions.
And so that was a story all the way from this
anti-malaria during the pregnancy period. And when they also deliver, we
Bachelor of Science degree in Business, Economics and Finance in London.
Some months ago when the news broke up, many were the cynics who didn't believe in the Akufo-Addo government and thought it was one of those political gimmicks. But lo and behold, we have gathered here today to officially hand over his traveling documents all the way to London, Brunel University, where he's going to read Bachelor of Science in Business, Economics and Finance. He's going all the way to London.
Thomas Amweni spoke to Metro News.
I feel very grateful, at first when the news broke out that I have passed my was, and then the president has, spoken to give me a scholarship to study abroad. Many people were thinking that he did that only for, his own political whims and caprice. But then here is that finally he has fulfilled what he said. So I am very, very grateful. I thank the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I thank him very much for granting me this opportunity.
The District Chief Executive Officer of Adeso, Eugene Saki, expressed gratitude on behalf of the community and the family for the honor.
This is the first time we are seeing such a thing in Upper West Akim. And we take this opportunity as well to encourage Thomas to go and study very hard, to be proud of Upper West Akim. Currently it's an asset to the district and to the nation at large. So we encourage you to go and study very well, so that when he comes back, whatever the district is supposed to benefit from him, we can also get it.
The Scholarship Secretariat is geared towards supporting brilliant but needy students through government fund and donor support for the purpose of national growth and development.
And now, residents in Wa municipality of the Upper West region have expressed grave concern over neglected ongoing construction of toilet facilities in their communities. According to residents, sanitation remained a major challenge in their communities, but were optimistic that the situation will improve when Northern Development Authority initiated toilet project which targeted densely populated communities that have no access to household littering. The 12-unit water closet toilet facilities, when completed, will alleviate the sanitation and health-related diseases which usually characterizes all settlement. Metro News Upper West Region correspondent Adams Musa filed this report and is read to you.
The Northern Development Authority initiated a project to construct 12-unit water closets in selected communities and slums in the northern regions. Over 2,149 projects were being put up in the 5 regions of the north as part of the government's Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program, IPEP, to address the needs of the people. The projects were supposed to be completed in 6 months. The assembly members for the beneficiary communities are, however, not happy. This is because the contractors have since abandoned the projects, citing non-payment by the government. Abdul Fattah Dauda is the assembly member for Tangrayiri electoral area.
The contractor has abandoned the project and left. I contacted him severally. He told me that since he started the project, he has been using his own money to do the work. As we speak, the government has not given him a dime to continue with the project. All efforts to do that has proven futile.
The assembly member for Dondoli lamented that until government recognizes the contribution of local authorities, development projects will continue to go waste.
How is it saved?
Personally, I was not informed. I'm not involved in it. I contacted my MC. He told me he's not aware. So we are waiting. Whosoever that is responsible, when the person comes, we'll then meet and we'll talk of it. And as we speak, I only get the contractor on site working. But as to who gave him that project, we don't know.
This. You see children playing. You see that they use zinc to cover their doors. It was not like that. So they were jumping up and down. So we decided that then let's close it. But as you can see, you see that they have torn the zinc and they are now jumping. If you go inside, you see toilets and other things there. So we are pleading on the contractor and the government that they should pay the contractor for them to complete the project for us.
You are still watching this live on Metro TV. Let's now do some business news. At first, in business, traders and patronizers of general goods and services have lamented the recent introduction of new taxes, which has in turn caused price hikes. Metro News Shadrach Odame Ejare is in Makola to find out the reactions of these traders and patronizers and joins us live with feed.
Parliament abolished some 11 taxes, which were termed nuisance taxes. It also reviewed some 4 others which were said to have been affecting Ghanaian businesses negatively. Fast forward, the government statistician, Professor Samuel Enim, has also admitted that prices of general goods and services have gone up. We are here today in Makola to find out from traders and patronizers how the said increase in prices has or is affecting their businesses. Let me speak to Atta here, who is selling plantain and then some other abedru. Okay, so these are techie berry, she said abedru. Yes, this is here Niamabo Ekosro. Ampa.
Ampa Niamabo Ekosro. Niamabo Ayani Papa. Says say no matter lolly fame. Omasa to petrol so. Tiniamandi Okofaba ne board papa. Some case I never idea because you find no they are almost see Omoba Kototo Nema can't one near Manoma. Let's run. Let's send ye near to Mano. I must say near Bre. Yamano boy, dear my broso. And a second is to the harmony say. Says Oscar say, you may be a square Juma. To say maybe university. You have a fun crop for a man who come we cry for. No one in the Musa.
Yensha Brodiano. One Hasana Okofa.
Yanam Kofa.
Ain't Canena Okofa Brodiano. A Brodia Bo and a lorry fair. And a Siciano, it's the same.
Canone Kakra. This year, the Nyakura, or the Nankasa board. Because the season ye. And now. Lolly Fenno Sabatos, the body of mobile, somebody that way, 40 Ghana. Yeah, that way. Wait, 40 Ghana, we're 45. Majisa crowd, I know.
Intina Canena, brothers are saying.
Cananas, when the idea, Cabot season ye, Cadia 25, 20. They say 40 Ghana. So, Janano be by 40 Ghana went to me. Okay, no plenty of material. And talk. Was near man boy too much in Tiesrenana. Lolly Fenno, and it went out to petrol, no one to Sukakramaya. No one can yet.
And our former finance minister said Tepe has criticized the Akufo-Addo-led administration over its recent introduction of what it refers to as killer taxes. According to him, the previous government left enough funds to mitigate uncertainties such as COVID-19 and its rippling effect on the economy. He was speaking to Emmanuel Akwasi-Afriye on Metro News' Bottom Line program.
I'm saying that We'll come to the way forward, and I'll comment.
Right.
But we seem to be focusing when it comes to that, on tax increases. And I was, I couldn't help but smile. When when
you were listening to the minister.
When the minister was clearly not satisfied when nuisance tax was replaced with killer taxes.
Lamenting the economic impact of the new taxes, Seth Thekpe called on government to reassess its social policies, as most of them do not in any way contribute to the meaningful economic impact they claim to have made over the years.
Right? How much is ESLA bringing? ESLA is projected, and I'm quoting from government reports, please. ESLA is projected to bring in 40 billion by 2024. And you're talking about debt, total debt. You can add roads and everything, 7 billion that was left here and there, right? Even if you say it's 35 billion, why is 40 billion not enough to clear those debts? Right? Or why is it not enough to underwrite,
the debts? Yes, the pertaining
and Western, you talk about, those bailout costs and others, right? And you put them as a footnote, you call them exceptional, right? You call them one time, right? But you are including the ESLA as revenue.
He further added that the previous government left enough funds in its ESLA and the infrastructure fund account to mitigate uncertainties such as the COVID-19 and its rippling effect on the Ghanaian economy.
We now shift our focus onto the international front. Ugandan security operations are ramped up around the capital ahead of Wednesday's inauguration of President Yoweri Museveni. That includes tight security around the home of opposition leader Bobi Wine, who accused the government of fraud in January's election. The security measures seem to be a warning to the opposition from authorities. It's a beehive of activity for security personnel ahead of Wednesday's swearing-in ceremony for Museveni. Kampala streets are guarded by foot patrols of soldiers, rooftop snipers, artillery pieces, armored vehicles, and route police. Authorities are also intent on containing opposition leader Robert Kigali, better known as Bobi Wine. Joel, the National Unity Platform Party spokesperson, says Wine's house has been heavily surrounded by security. In fact, today they deployed some more security. We don't know whether their intention is to hold him under house arrest. Honorable has not written to them to ask for security. Today, at our party headquarters in Kamgungia, the military sent war tankers. But for us, all this is panic. Panic by Mr. Museveni and his regime because they are afraid of Ugandans, simply because they know they stole the victory of Ugandans, as stated. Let's now take a look at management of City FM's condemns Rambo-style arrest of City FM journalist accused of unlawfully filming the offices of the National Security Ministry. We'll bring you the full fact. Small-scale miners threaten to hit the street over what they claim is the continual destruction of their mining equipment by government's anti-Galamsey task force. And so we brought to you a story from Kigali, one of the world's cleanest cities, and how it's being strategically positioned to become Africa's leading tourism destinations. And in business, we also took a look at former finance minister Seth Thekpe accuses the MPP government on worsening the living conditions of Ghanaians over its decision to increase taxes. He calls it an on and that's national front. Ugandan security forces deployed ahead of the swearing-in of Yoweri Museveni. And that's it for the news here on Metro TV. But exactly 2 p.m., Francisca Kakra Fossa will be on with Good Afternoon Ghana. And we are looking at hashtag